So, Callan, do you have a presentation that you were going to give?
I do indeed. I think I sent it to you late last night, but I do have a shared screen. I do have it ready to go.
Fantastic. Also, I'm really into all the branding that you've done already. I mean, you are well branded.
This is the Reflex bunker. I mean, obviously it's nice and presentation, but the desk behind me is, you don't want to know.
Don't ask any more questions. Dead bodies, I'm sure, and everything. You know, crime scene.
Yes. We call them actors that haven't survived the audition. Hey.
Okay. Right. In that case, Callan, we'll let you crack on with your presentation. Dan, you and I will chat maybe on email off the Zoom. And so, yes, Callan, if you would like to carry on and do your presentation all about how to survive an audition. Yes.
Super stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see if it will share. Can people see this lovely thing? Hopefully.
Yes,
good. Fantastic. Right. Let's just make sure that goes away. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. My name is Callan, and I am the Artistic Director of Reflex Theatre. We are based in Norwich, but we do pretty much, as much as we can all over the country. Not only do we perform, we do a lot of education. We also do a lot of community work as well. So, obviously, you guys, depending on where you are in your kind of stage, whether you are kind of thinking about going into the creative industries or whether you're about to make that next step and you just want a little bit of an idea of how to actually survive an audition situation, I've got some tips for you. I've got some tricks. We're going to break this down into some basic stuff. Now, just very quickly, for those who are still kind of like, don't know whether the creative industries is for me, this also applies to interview situations as well. These are transferable things that you can take into any pressurized situation where you've got to talk to someone who you don't know, or you feel like you've got to perform, or, you've just got to get the content that you need to do out there. Okay. So first thing, let's go through the bleeding obvious. All right. Let's go through the things that everybody says, everything everyone knows you got to do. Okay. You got to be on time. Obviously.
You don't understand that, Ali, bro.
Ooh, hello, Dan. Nice to see you. Don't know if you were able to go on mute. That's fantastic. Be on time. You got to be prepared as well. You got to dress appropriately. If you're going into an office, I wouldn't dress like you go into a carnival. You got to be positive. You got to do your research. You got to try and relax. You got to be yourself. Don't try and be like anyone else or everyone else. When you're in the room, treat everybody with professional courtesy, whether that's the people who are interviewing you or whether it's just a cleaner that you're bumping into on the way through. Everyone's important. Don't allow any nervousness that you might be feeling to come across as arrogance. You don't want to kind of have to feel like that you're, just using that negative energy in a wrong way. Do you know what I mean? Don't apologize. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Don't apologize. It's you. Don't make excuses or fumble around. Things happen the way they do. If you go wrong, you can either start again. Just don't, be like, oh, I wasn't prepared, or my dog ate my speech, or whatever it was. Don't bring large props or ridiculous capes or anything. It's just, it helps no one. But that's the kind of obvious stuff that you would either expect to kind of hear over and over and over again. But three of those can be a little bit kind of challenging to do. They're kind of a little bit out of our control. Be prepared. Well, you can do as much as you can, but you might not be able to feel prepared sometimes. Being positive. All right, how do you do that then? And then trying to relax. So how does that kind of work? So I'm going to diverge from the creative industries a little bit. I'm going to go on to some science, okay? There is a thing that we have in our heads called the amygdala. Okay, and the amygdala is basically our best frenemy. Okay, it is our fight or flight response mechanism. So let me give you an example. If you do something for the very, very, very first time and you have a positive experience, your amygdala will record that and go, every time you are in this experience or similar experience again, your amygdala will go, here are all the nice feelings that you felt right at the start, go and have them and go and be brilliant with them. Unfortunately, it also happens the other way around as well. If you have a first experience, let's say, of an audition or an interview, and it goes really badly, or you just feel like really nervous, you're shaking, this, that, and the other, your amygdala will unfortunately record that response as well, because it's a survival mechanism. Your amygdala will either go, here's some positive chemicals so you can fight it, or here are some negative chemicals so you can run away. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, once that first experience has happened, it is locked in. It is very, very near impossible to pretty much change that first experience because it's happened. But all is not lost, because you can beat your brain. Okay. There are a couple of ways that you can beat your brain. Okay. You can either do it the way I call internal outwards, which are very much like the positive mantra stuff. You know, I am enough, I am bold, I am brave, and just saying all those, those affirmations that kind of get you into a positive headspace, giving you positive responses, calming responses to nervous energy or feeling like you're going to be rubbish or whatever. The way that I quite like to work, as you could probably tell because I use my hands quite a lot when I'm speaking, is external in. So what I do when I'm feeling nervous, and I still get the shakes, my first experience for auditions and interviews was, I don't think, very good. I kind of shake and I get nervous very, very, every time. One of the things I do is kind of center myself, take a deep breath, just kind of notice the weight of my body in a chair. Let's say if I'm sitting outside the audition room, I will take some full breaths, some quick sharp in breaths, and then some really slow out breaths, because out breaths are how you relax. I will also do some physical things as well. I might go for a run just beforehand, or I might do a couple of star jumps. I am a very, very physical being. So what I can suggest is that you try, when you're doing your preparation, or if you're just outside the room, is get your body working. As actors, especially, we are not supposed to think necessarily. Our job is to do. Our job is to react and respond pretty much like that, without our brains kind of interfering. And if you've ever been in a situation where you're outside an interview or an audition, or you will be, where you're overthinking and you're, trying to prepare enough with, let's say, your speech, your monologue, your kind of character, the way you want to approach it. If you're doing an interview, make sure that you know the company that you are going in for. Make sure you know who you're speaking to, and just do enough preparation so that you don't feel like you have to think. You can just say and do. If I was doing a Q&A, for example, I don't know what questions you guys are going to potentially ask me, but I wouldn't need to think about that, because I've done years and years of preparation work to just be comfortable enough to just say without thinking, in a positive way, of course. So either positive mantras, get yourself in that positive affirmation space, or do some physical things as well. Get your body working, because your brain is part of your body. Don't think, just do. And it takes the pressure off. And actually, while I'm talking about taking the pressure off, this might sound weird. Go for bronze, okay? Bronze is nice. Bronze is okay. What I mean by that is you can go for gold. Absolutely fine. But don't make gold your be-all and end all, because you're just putting pressure on yourself that's completely unnecessary. So when I talk about go for bronze, I talk about what is the situation that, if the worst comes to the worst, and let's say I get hit by a truck or something tomorrow or whatever, well, if I look back in my life from heaven or whatever, I can go, I'm happy with where I am. I'm happy with where I was, where I ended up. Fair enough, it wasn't the golden heights I wanted to reach, but bronze is good enough for me. And bronze can change. I mean, 10 years ago, I was working for Nintendo and PlayStation, just in shopping malls, just playing Mario Kart. That's brilliant. That was bronze enough for me. Yes, I had dreams of Reflex Theatre. Yes, I had dreams of becoming a great actor, this, that, and the other. But my bronze is good enough for me. And because I'm happy with where I am, if I'm going into an audition or interview, which is an opportunity to get that silver medal or that gold medal, then I can relax into that because I know that I'm happy with my bronze. I'm good in my bronze. It is just a bonus that I get my silver, and it's an extra bonus that I get my gold. So go for bronze and be happy with bronze. Go for gold, but go for bronze as well, okay? The one thing that you will find as you are auditioning, this is my final thing I will say, when you're auditioning, when you're interviewing, it will feel like it's just a never-ending climb, okay? Because especially if you are auditioning, you will just be auditioning constantly. You'll be, you know, seeking out work. That's pretty much, you know, when people ask you, what do you do as an actor? The majority of your time will be job searching. And it will feel like you've just got to constantly keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And that is the truth. One thing I will say is not only have you got to constantly do the job searching, constantly feed yourself and feed your creative soul. And, you know, it's like going to the gym. If you were going to go to an audition, or if you were going to go and do a 100-meter run, but you haven't done the prep, you haven't been to the gym, you're not going to do as well as if you had been to the gym, okay? When I talk about going to the gym, I go and say, let's go and get yourself inspired. So if you can, get yourself to a museum, go and listen to music, go and watch plays, watch online stuff, NT Live, or just watch as many stuff that you can. You know, find some scripts online and just practice them, using your own techniques the way that you want to perform. Just go and make sure that you're not just sitting there on a laptop going, I'm just going to apply for everything. Make sure that you're also feeding yourself creatively and that you're working those creative muscles. Yes, it feels like a never-ending mountain, but remember, it is. Just enjoy the climb, just enjoy the ride, and remember that you can settle at a base camp on that mountain because that's your bronze as well, okay? Hopefully, I know I use a lot of analogies, what I've said makes sense. If you do have any questions that is in the Q&A, I'm more than happy to answer them. If I've got a bit of time now, then fantastic. Or if they are you know, if they're asked afterwards and sent to me, I'm more than happy to, you know, answer anything. In terms of us, we are on obviously all the socials. If you want to give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. We also do a lot of stuff within schools. So one of the things that we do is actually a bit more of a masterclass rather than just a 15 minutes of, you know, I talk about how to survive an audition, but what do you actually do? If you would like that to kind of see within your school, have a look at the website, reflextheatre.co.uk. Have a chat with your teachers. We're more than happy to hopefully come into your schools. And we do a lot of stuff kind of in the community as well. We hopefully got some good things up this summer. Hopefully in your area, if we're able to. But yeah, do get in touch with us if you've got any questions. education@reflextheatre.co.uk. And I think I've run out of things to say. Super. Hopefully that was all right. I know I babbled a little bit, but hopefully you guys got something out of it.
I think everyone got something out of it. I think, first of all, the teachers listening around the country will be like, thank God he said that they're willing to come into schools. So prepare yourself because you're going to be inundated with requests, I'm sure. We will put all the relevant links in the chat or sending it over email, and also putting it in the, if you're watching this on YouTube, putting it in the description of the video below. Mike is here as well because this is his session, so I actually feel like I shouldn't really be.
No, carry on. I'm going to start, Callum. Hi, Callum. I'm going to start with be bold, Mike, be brave, and let's start with bronze. And that was fantastic. I mean, I could have, I'm not the greatest public speaker, and like yourself, that little thing in my brain has experiences either good or bad sometimes, and you're quite right, it does affect different situations. What I really loved was the way that you said, this is not just for aspiring actresses, dancers, musicians, blah, blah, blah. This is for all of you when you look at whatever interview you might have online or in person in the creative industries, and interviews are tough. And I think I posted some resources earlier in the week about equally how to best practice at interview. So that links really nicely. But that was really good, Callum. Thank you.
No, thank you, and I'm glad that you guys have got something out of it as well. As I say, we're more than happy to have a chat with pretty much anyone. You know, our door's always open, whether that be, you know, if you're an emerging actor or you're an emerging theatre creative, whatever that may be, or you just fancy just asking us a question. We're more than happy. So yeah, get in touch. The things are everywhere. So yeah,
I think going into schools as well is like. Given, you know, as previously a school governor, knowing the budgets in schools, being able to invite you in is a fantastic opportunity.
Definitely.
So
and for
well
those,
done you and your team.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mike, but just to let you know, for those teachers who are watching, we have literally just kind of revamped our theatre workshop offer. We've basically gone through every single specification, AQA, EdExcel, whatever the other things are, off the top of my head, I can't remember, there's just so many letters. But we've gone through all the specifications, and we've hopefully got something that will really help the GCSE delivery and also the A-level delivery for your theatre creatives. So do have a look on the website, www.reflextheatre.co.uk/learn. And yeah, I know budgets are tight. We've tried to price it as best as we can for you guys. So yeah, just give us a shout. We're more than happy to help.
Marvelous.
Amazing. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Callan. Thank you for joining us. Really wonderful session, and what transferable skills you've just taught everyone.